Hi, Richard.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. You do such a great job in the show because your character, Mason, has so much to go through. He's a spy, then he loses his memory, and he's a devoted family man. Then he's introduced back into the spy world. How much more challenging was he to play than a more run-of-the-mill character?
Yeah, he was hugely challenging, but it was also a gift in a way because for all the complexity of the duality and the multiple places and multiple memories, there was a great separation for me. And what drew me to this in the first instance was this way that as he's exploring who he is, the audience are doing it. It's through his eyes that they're working out this world and who he used to be and who he potentially could be. So that excited me. And then I got the opportunity to work out where are the parallels between these two men who are essentially, the grass is always greener. They're the other version of themselves that they want to be. They have the other life that the other one wants to have. And so to be able to dial up and down the selfishness, the selflessness between the two of them and their desire to collide in so many ways was a fun challenge, not something that was you know more intimidating than normal. It was actually a gift because I got to play with extremes in a way that you might not get to if it was just one man.
While I was watching the show, I had to look up whether you were American because I knew you'd been in British productions, and I was amazed to find out that you're Scottish. How did you so effortlessly pull off an American accent?
A brilliant dialect coach that I've worked with for many years, Rick Lipton. I work with him, but I'm not a method actor in any way, but I stay in the accent for the duration. So, sadly for my friends and family, they had to listen to me put on a silly voice evenings and weekends for a couple of years. But I think when doing an accent, it's a muscle like any other, and I'm not good enough to just turn it on and off. I have to train that muscle every day and keep using it. So I stay in the American accent. Apart from the occasional Friday night martini with Stanley Tucci, in which case my Scottish accent comes out. But the rest of the time, I keep training that accent, and I don't want anything to take away from the audience believing who the character is. So I just worked hard to make sure the sounds were as spot on as they could be.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Okay.
Mason is so active. He has to ski, he's lifted in the air from a helicopter. You also do elaborate fight scenes. How
Mm.
many of the stunts did you get to do yourself?
Pretty much most of them. Pretty much most of them. I love the jumping off the wall, kind of skydiving down onto the paratrooper. That's things like that are actually really fun. But I think something that the Russos and David Weil wanted to have is a real connection to the character in these action sequences, a real connection to the drama. And sadly, for me, some days when you go, I can't do another day of fighting, is we need you in there, we need your face, because the fight doesn't mean anything unless we can see the characters are connecting. So it became part of my language of building this character, and it became part of what would then go on to inform me about who he was. When you're put in a position, it's about how do we get out of this, and what kind of man are you that you'll be driven to succeed no matter what, and how are we going to execute your goal? So one fed the other, and the drama and the action got intertwined.
You and Priyanka Chopra are so great together. I especially love your back and forth banter. What was she like to work with? How quickly did you hit it off?
Straight away, I mean that's part of this fight sequence dialogue that we had, that we didn't want to just be fighting. We wanted to be telling a story in the middle of all of that. And Priyanka is so beautifully present on set and so collaborative and has these amazing instincts where we push each other and try and get the best out of each other and try and make things harder for the characters to be so that the drama is more interesting. And you need someone who prepares like Priyanka does, and turns up ready to collaborate and to kind of get the best out of me. And so I feel very lucky to have had that experience with her, and hopefully much more.
There are so many beautiful locations in this series. Where was it filmed?
We filmed in a lot of different places. I think my favorite place was being in Valencia, where we recreated the fire festival, which is very famous there. But we dipped into to lots of places. We'd build huge sound stages, which were kind of like being in a theme park because they'd create these whole worlds. And we're in London, and we're in Atlanta, and there's parts in Morocco, and we really tried to go to as many places as we could because we're trying to establish a world that Citadel exists in all these countries, and we can't quite do that if we're just in the studio. So we tried to get out there and go and shoot a piece in Miami and get little glimpses of lots of different places so that the audience can feel that it's real and it's around them.
I want to thank you so much for talking to me today about this series.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and patience. Thank you.
Take care.